always is, right? Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Hey guys, welcome back to the Off the Clock Show. Joined again with Sean Gervais from OrbisX CRM, Marshall Hill from the Pints Poultry Podcast, as well as HyperClean Car Care Products. That's right, ladies and gents, and Father's Day is coming up, so nudge your loved ones and be like, hey, maybe you could pay for a year subscription of OrbisX for me, and you could buy me some HyperClean stack. That would be amazing. So, nudge, nudge, nudge. Come on, wifeys, where you at? And vice versa for the ladies out there. Talk to your husband. Be like, forget mowing the lawn. I'm more interested in ceramic coating some cars. Hey, man, it's 2025. Let's go, baby. How you doing, man? What you sipping on?
This is mystery beer.
I love it. I was wondering. I saw it. I'm like, geez, where'd you like rob a train? Like, what happened here?
No, I used to brew beer, and then some stuff got removed out of the house,
Okay.
and then it's been sitting here, and I was like, you know what? Let me go get some of those conditioners. So you put these little sugar cubes in them.
Yeah.
You give them,
Oh shit.
and we'll see what it is. Looks pretty dark.
Damn.
I think it was a pumpkin.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like it's got some spiciness to it. I think it was a pumpkin ale. I think.
Damn.
I think I did a Hefeweizen pumpkin. I think that's what that is.
I'm not gonna lie. That's impressive though. I find that impressive. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's years old. That's probably 4 years old or so. It's old beer.
Holy shit, man. Yeah. How's that work? I'm not a huge beer guy, so I don't know. Like, I enjoy a nice beer, but does it age better?
Oh yeah, you can get beers to age. Absolutely, they'll change some flavors to them as they age. Now, some people will say they've gotten sick if they drink a beer too old.
Pussies. No, I'm just kidding. Fair. Yeah.
I don't know. Still, one of the, you can do it. I mean, we all know wine, but you can do it with store bought wine.
Yes, that I did know. Yeah.
Most people don't. They're like but that's the thing. Store bought wine is normally only like a year or two old, and they have to rush it by putting in too much alcohol, not using grapes. But when that wine sets over time, we randomly found. I think I told you that story. This Joel Gotti. It's a wine out of Sam's, and we were getting it and we liked it, but then suddenly we didn't like it, and we found out on the label it was newer. And so we would dig through Sam's to find the old 2019,
Nice.
so 6-year-old bottles.
Damn.
And for months I would go back and we would just dig through.
Yeah.
But we haven't found any more. So that hunt's over. But we would buy a case at a time because it was so great. It was 6 years old.
Man.
Like they had dust all over the bottle. I mean, they were old. Like,
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
And they do get better. I know what you mean because there was one here. I'm trying to remember something Rojas. I can't remember there was something and then Rojas. Anyway, they had cases of it, but apparently people didn't really like the taste of it here, so it wasn't selling. And so they moved it to the back. But I knew this guy Luis that worked there, and I went in one day and I was like, "Hey, do you have a really nice deep red? Like I want something that's nice, kind of chocolatey, fruity nut." Anyway, I went over this whole thing with him. He's like, "Bro, I got the perfect thing for you." He said nobody wanted these because they did the exact same thing you mentioned. They put more alcohol in it so that when it shipped out, and they were shipping stuff so fast, plus it had to make a big journey. It was coming from Spain. So anyway, he gives me these bottles and he says, no one knows about it. He says, I've just been nursing these cases in the back. So anyway, he gave me a case. I was like, holy shit, man, this is amazing. So I went back. I was like, how many cases you have left? He's like, no. He said, listen, this is for me. He said, I'll sell you 2 more and that's it, But we nursed those. Oh, man. Wait for special occasions, stuff like that. And amazing. Which, on that note, quick little rose out of the bouquet, had something interesting happen that I love when my businesses cross over between each other. And so we had a printing customer suggest they asked for a print job. We printed it for them. But what they were doing for their friend, I was like, fuck, that's genius. So we're now doing that and rolling that out for our clients. And so we just did the first bottle, actually, which is pretty awesome. So my wife and I make wine. So we often end up having too much wine at the time because there's only so much wine I can store in my house. There's only so much wine we can drink. And if we're not having huge parties, it just sits here, which is fine. But if it sits here, it also tends to get drank and then it's a problem. I got to get some coating done. So What do we do with all the extra wine? We gift it. We gift a lot, and that happens with people that make their own wines and stuff. You want a bottle of wine? Hey, before you go, do you want to take a bottle or two? It happens. We usually put a custom label on it, and it just says Chateau Gervais. That's what we put on it, which is fine. But I had a bunch of bottles made recently, and I was like, okay, I made one, and we actually weren't super fans of it. It was a little too fruity for our taste. Anyway, so we're like, well, what do we do with it? Well, we'll give it away. Print shop, order comes in, someone's looking for some labels for wine. Okay, that's a normal thing. I looked over the artwork because there was something wrong with it. There was a fight going on with the customer, so it got escalated to me. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, holy shit, guys, this is amazing. It literally was 8 different labels, and it was a gift for one of their friends that was getting married, and it said, open when you buy your first house, open when you have your first baby, open when they take their first step.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's genius. So we got some labels printed because we own a printing company. Why not? And we got a bunch of different ones. Congratulations on your new car. Open when you XYZ. Open when this. So anytime someone tells us something like, oh yeah, my daughter's getting married in February or something, perfect. We go grab out a label and it'll be like, open when your baby takes her first step or something like that. Boom, give it to them. Be like, here's a gift for your daughter. Congratulations. I'm telling you, it's going to be wild how memorable that is for the customer, and such a simple act. The bottles of wine, I think they work out to like $3.50 each. That's what it costs us.
Yeah, especially when you make your own stuff. It's not that's more expensive. The bottles are the most expensive.
That's why people keep them. Yeah, like us too. Yeah, we wash them, we take them there, and then you have to go through this process. You flip it upside down, squish it on the thing, and then you rinse it out, and then
sanitize them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, man, that is genius, and that's where I love paying attention to different things, because you might think, what could you learn from a print shop that you could use at your auto shop, stuff like that. But man, ideas are out there. You just got to pay attention, and then that light bulb's gonna go, and you're like, holy shit, perfect. Because a lot of people look for like gifts. Oh, what can I do as a leave behind in every car? I think leaving something in every car isn't as special as you think it is. I think doing something where you put a little more effort into it, but you're making that one-on-one connection with that customer, that is by far more meaningful. So hey, if someone wants to take that, I'll send you the labels that we had made up. We've got, I think, 24 different like occasions or milestones or whatever you call them. Then you can get them printed. Or if you want, nudge, nudge. I know a guy. I can print them and ship them right to your office, so we're good to go.
All right, so I'll piggyback you there. There's something that I was gifted recently that I really thought was genius. And I think we can adapt it and use inside of detailing. We went to the local FC club team soccer game, right? It's the semi-pros. So they play at the semi-pro baseball team stadium. Wow. Kind of odd, right? They have to, like, part of the time they're kicking off of dirt. Part of the time it's it's like, hey, it's Oklahoma.
The field is field. Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, though, Westbrook is building a huge stadium, and they're going to make a big push for actual pro soccer team in Oklahoma City. So they will have a full pro team there. But when we walked in, I was gifted a card that simply said, and it was the color of it, and it said yellow card.
Okay. All right. What'd you get the warning for?
Doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah, fair.
So I use it. All I saw was yellow card. I'm in. I need that. And I go with them. I was like, I'm gonna use that. Like, so you bet. I home. I said, hold on.
Yeah, hold on. Time out. Yellow card. Oh my God. Yeah, your wife must love that. Yeah.
Now, how genius would this be if you went and put your detail stuff on the other side? And you went to the local, which we've already said, you need to go advertise. If soccer moms love their cars cleaned, you need to be sponsoring and be working with the high-end soccer teams. 100%. Not the jinky ones that, are YMCA.
Yeah.
Like the YMCA, don't get me wrong. But, you need to go be trying to seek after, because those people have the money. It's expensive, Find out what the lacrosse, warning is, whatever, Get those, and then you just have to walk up and go. You could even do it right in the middle of the games and go to, hundreds of people out there, and you just over to each parent go, here, you might need this later for your kid, and
Yeah.
it's a yellow card, they're gonna laugh.
Yeah, 100%.
And then what do? They flip it over. Well, of course you're gonna need it, and you can be soccer cleats. Get your car dirty. We can
Yeah,
be here within 30 minutes or something. Whatever what hook
exactly.
you come up with,
Hmm.
there's the hook, right? You got a yellow card,
100%.
and you could even put something about there. Kids have made a mess in your car. This penalty can be wiped clean.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. That's genius. That's really good too. That right there, man. You're going after the royalties now, huh? So you got the Luna, 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 and now you're
Yeah.
just giving it away. But no, that's genius. And the cool thing is, you could go and ask Luna, "Hey, I'm putting together this," and explain that promotion, and then say, "What other clubs are there in such and such city, wherever you happen to be at?" And then you can look for commonalities and ask Luna, like, "Hey, what are similar type of yellow cards for other sports or activities, so on and so forth," and get those broken down because there's going to be some, and then ask her for some catchphrases as well. You can piggyback off Marshall's idea there and plug those in. That's genius. I love that kind of stuff because those people do have the money, and the best part is those people always have the money. They're not the ones that are. Do you think those people?
And they're gonna keep something. I fucking kept it in my pocket. I still know where it is at my house. It was so good, right?
Yeah.
Like
Man,
I'm
that,
always gonna know where that is for the next,
yeah,
little bit, right? Until the
yeah.
pile of my stuff gets cleared out by the missus, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if you're that
100%.
way, but I love to
Oh
pile
yeah.
stuff up.
I collect things 100%. Like we go to comedy shows and I'll keep stuff that like when we get the access pass and stuff. I hang on to it. We went to a Missy Elliott concert and they had these like
Sorry to hear.
flashy things. We took the kids. Shut up. Yeah, but they had these flashy things that went around your wrist. But they had a really good interaction with the crowd. It was pretty cool actually what they did. But
I mean, there's 2025 for you right there in a nutshell. Yeah, we took the kids. Missy Elliott's all right. Like Snoop Dogg. All these guys. Yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah,
took the kids. It's like,
the kids. That's true. What a
they've
transition.
done a really great job of coming full circle and
Yeah,
mainstreaming themselves.
it's
I'm
true.
with you, but can we all go back to what like Missy Elliott? Some of her very first early songs. Are you kidding me? We all were like, "What'd she say?" Like,
It's true, but nowadays it's like the stuff these kids are subjected to. It's like, yeah, that's child's play. It's like Disney. You know what I mean? It's true. Actually, Disney's terrible now. It's some of the stuff they got on there. It's there's sections. Let's just put it that way. But those kind of leave behinds, man. Those are great. Those are honestly fantastic things, and it was a big reason.
that's not a leave behind. That's marketing.
Yeah, oh, 100%. But what I call them leave behinds because it's like something you take away with you. Like yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, well, but people get confused if I leave it in a truck after I clean it. No, that's
Oh yeah, no. Okay, good job to clarify there, because that's not at all what we're talking about. No. Marketing, just something you're giving, the customer goes off with, and they hang on to it. That's why.
Listen, World Cup is coming to America next year. Get started now. Like
Yeah,
seriously, what the hell are you doing?
and something like that's not expensive to produce either. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, I think, underestimate the cost of printing things. Which actually, you know what? I got to do a quick sidebar here because I had a conversation with a guy recently. Two guys I was talking to. It's amazing the differences that you can just tell instantly from a conversation with a new detailer. Both new businesses. They said that, hey, I'm investigating OrbisX, want to check it out, I'm a new business. Had one guy who's actually in Oklahoma, and I sent him your way as well, which is awesome. Hey, I said, hey, since you're a local boy, I got something for you too. But so he was very gung ho, and this is what I plan to do, but I'm going to start here. And then he asked me, he says, hey, you're in the industry, do you know any good resources, things I could listen to, so on and so forth? So I was like, first off, good job on just asking the question. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they just, I'll be able to figure out everything on my own, I know everything, and then they go and they learn two thing from some random YouTuber, and then they're like, okay, great, and they just follow down that path to inevitable off the cliff. So kudos to that guy. Then the other guy, he was saying, oh, I was looking at it though, and I have to, pay for SMS messaging and stuff, and already $100 a month for software is just, it's pretty insane, And I was like, oh, buddy, so it just instantly the mindset. So I wrote him back an email, and I said, hey, listen, He says, if you want, no problem. We'll deduct the cost of whatever your SMS messaging accounts to. And I broke it down for him. I said, listen, if you send 1,000 messages, you're spending $7. So if that's a critical breaking point for your startup, no problem. I got your back, you know? And they said, but I do have to let you know, because I came from an era where we didn't have these kinds of technologies available. And I said, let me just break down the cost of what it would have meant for me to reach one customer. And I broke it down because it meant designing the artwork, printing the artwork, stuffing the envelope, which still required manpower, so you're paying staff now to stuff envelopes, delivering that to the customer in hopes that they what? Go online and book on your website? No, that wasn't a thing. In hopes that they call you, and so now you're paying someone to also answer the phone in hopes that maybe they'll become a lead, and then you have to what? Track that somehow, so now you need multiple phone numbers.
Sean, you don't understand. It's difficult.
Holy shit.
It's difficult now, Sean. You don't understand.
It's really tough right now. Yeah, it's really tough. Like it's so crazy to me, and I'm like, come on, man. Like there's so much out there for you, but it was just interesting to see the two different mentalities.
Do you ever remember debating getting on the Yellow Pages or not?
Yes, I do, and not only that, but there was Yellow Pages, and there were other ones. There was like we had a 411 directory. We had what was the other one? There was another one. We had a bunch, but
Around was also, then the next was Valpak.
yeah. Valpak, jeez, they're still around. It's a lot thinner, but we still have. Well, now there's a Super Saver, and I can't remember what the other one's called, but the
Some neighborhood one started coming later, like, hey, this neighborhood thing where if you buy a house in this new neighbor, they guarantee that they're going to deliver every new home purchase with whatever, like
yeah. There's
there's
things
all
out.
kinds of ways, but yeah, you're right. 7 cents was never anywhere close. Never anywhere close. Nowhere close.
Yellow Pages and Super Saver, Valpak, all them. They weren't like one-off things either that you could just turn off.
You had to commit to them.
Need it.
Yep.
Yeah. You were locked in, and if you jump ship, you got a business, you're still on the hook. They go after your credit, put a lien on your house. Like you were locked in. You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem nowadays. Is a lot of people don't understand that business is a commitment, and business does require work, but it also does require some funding. Despite what they show you online and TikTok videos and stuff, like you're going to incur some costs, right? It's just what's going to happen. So another little side story as well, back to my printing side, is similar to this because I had the same guy that I was talking to was talking about competition and it's just hard because I'm starting up and there's a lot of competition and it's going to force me to run my business a certain way and stuff. And it made me think about this guy that we work with sometimes. His name's Carlos, great guy. He used to have a little kiosk back when I met him. He had a little kiosk and he was printing T-shirts on the spot and he was doing literally right there in front of
Listen, mall kiosk is a hustle in and of itself.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, he paid a lot for the kiosk. It was like at the time
surprisingly a lot. Yeah, you're right.
$2,000 a month. Yeah, but the traffic he had was huge until the iPhone got popular. Apple came in and they said, we're opening up stores now and we want that guy, the little guy with the kiosk in front, we need him out of here. And of course the mall, they're looking at it, they're like, okay, we got 20 racks coming from this guy, or we got, I don't even know what Apple was paying. Their store's huge, so who knows, $150,000 a month, or who knows, something massive. So obviously, out goes Carlos. So Carlos was faced with a decision. He's like, do I close up shop and go, corporate America, or...
Do you know, I did a auto spa at the mall?
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we did waterless detailing and valet parking at two malls. One was Penn Square Mall in Oklahoma City, and one was Woodland Hills Mall here in Tulsa. Yeah. So yeah, I'm familiar with the kiosk group, and I'm they're a breed. They're a breed.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, yeah, very much so. But they do make money. And
they do. Like the small gas stations that are broken down that people just think, that shit's
Yeah.
That's a fucking money chain right there. Like
100%. And even that, a lot of our malls here, there's still guys that are doing the valley detail and stuff like that, and they're making bank. Like I've heard people shit on them before, like, look at that guy. Why doesn't he open a real shop or something like that? I said, bro, don't kid yourself, man. I'm parking my car for several hours, like First off,
Once you actually see the amount of people, right? Like you
yeah,
watch, right? Because I used to go in so many gas stations because I drive around selling stuff, right? So it's crazy to just see the amount of traffic and you just go,
yeah, yeah.
and it's
Well,
like,
now it
holy shit,
all
man!
making
Like
sense now.
this doesn't stop.
It's true, just nonstop, 24 hours a day. Well, whatever their hours are, but yeah, it's nonstop, and that's where. Which brings me to something I want to touch on later. We ran some numbers on our shop following a situation we had with a staff member. I'll jump into that in a second, but real quick to finish with Carlos. So he had two choices: close down or move. So he opened up a shop, moved into a shop. He took out a loan for it initially, and a lot of people they're like, "Ugh, geez, this that." But
That was me.
yeah. Here's the thing.
I gave you the ooh.
Yeah. But what he was betting on is the fact that he was still going to be downtown and he was still going to have his kiosk for a month and a half. So what he did, he removed everything from his kiosk completely except for just a couple of the machines that he was doing t-shirts, mugs, a few things like that. But all the other stuff he had, he was doing keychain, you name it, everything. He removed all that stuff, moved it over to the other place, and then he said, looking for that place you got your keychain done, we've now moved to this place. Looking for t-shirts, we've now moved to this. So he just made a billboard basically for that month and a half. Had other people at the other place that he hired starting getting the ball rolling, and he started reaching out to who? Teams. He realized, he said, go after the teams. You lock in their t-shirts, you lock in the trophies, you lock in gifts, awards, medals, you name it, pins, and then that just spreads out into other stuff, right? So anyway, we're going back now. That was, I think he closed down the kiosk 15 years ago, around there. Now he's got $4 million of equipment and 2 locations. And so you look at that and it's like, he could have thrown his hands in the air and said, well, damn you, Apple. You know what I mean? They took my business away.
Not mall kiosk. Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Those
not,
guys, not
not with
them.
the attitude those guys have. Yeah.
It's like I used to. I had a cell phone store business too. So
That's a hustle. That is a
yeah,
hustle.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys hustle,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Used cell phones. Oh yeah.
We still have one. So
Oh
trust me,
yeah. They're
yeah,
still
I know
out
the
there.
Korean
Huh?
game.
They've
Yeah.
gone way down though. They've gone way down,
You know
way
what?
down. Because
It's
you can buy so many phones online now.
100%. But you know what's
So
coming up for us though?
yeah.
So the new sales, we don't make much in terms of like activations and stuff like that. So we're an authorized Bell dealer, so we do make some money off the activations. The margins are so small, and the brand new phones, like most of them, they do like payment plans now, where it's like free phone is just rolled into your monthly plan. There's almost no money for guys like us on that end of the deal. But repairs, I'm so happy that they keep making these phones out of the fucking glass and Bristol board because, like, Jesus, man, the repair game is insane. But then trade-ins that works out well too because everybody, I need the newest, latest, and greatest. But the phone that you used to have depreciates so fast. Like you bought it for 2,400, you used it for 12 months, and now it's worth 12. Now it's worth 6. Now it's worth 3. Now it's maybe I'll give you 150. I don't know. It's got a cracked screen. I'll give you $20. I don't know. Like here, come see these new ones over here though. You know what I mean?
It's a hustle. The
Yeah.
whole thing's just a hustle.
Oh yeah.
Like,
September. That's when you see me get really excited. Students. Woo-hoo.
oh no, us it was always the same. Was still tax money.
Oh yeah. Fair, but yeah. For us though, the students are a gold mine because we can get in on the campuses. That's the trick though. So we get on the campus when they do two. There's 2 sessions. One where they go checking out the schools. So there's like a 2-week period where they're just flooded. It's new people coming in that are going to be moving there. They're with their parents. Oh, perfect. You need a cosigner. You've never had a cell phone before. Oh my god, it's like fishing with dynamite. And then there's the after they've moved in. You catch all the second round of people you didn't see the first round. Yeah, it's a gold mine. But
All right. So a gold mine that we've talked about that I think there's other people that have done. I think Dijon's doing it. A big part of what big success for my mobile was going to meet people where they were and servicing them so that it handled their need and they were in a place that they were always going to be. So that could be golf courses, which Dijon has said, and other people
yeah,
are right.
he locked one in too. I was like,
Yep.
way to go, man. Hell yeah.
For me was big box stores,
Yeah.
like I said, the malls.
Yeah.
corporate environments.
You know what malls are good too? Those new like the open style malls where it's not a enclosed mall, but it's
Hmm.
multiple. They call them like outlets usually, but there's like a bunch of stores, and then they make pedestrian paths in between. Those are great. Oh,
So we had a guy that posted in one of the groups, and he was going to do a detail while you work out.
I work out. That's all I heard. Yeah, yeah,
We can all go back to that song. It was hilarious.
yeah,
Which,
yeah.
if you're in your 20s, you don't understand that joke, but your
Yeah,
parents will.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But your parents, and then 10 years from now, they'll be
Or
doing
your
it.
uncle, somebody, maybe a younger sibling of your parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. All right, but so I like it because he's going after it. He thinks a higher class members, because these are gyms that support only more higher class. He says it's not a corporate type environment, and he wants to know our thoughts, right? Like, put this out into a group. He's got a nice flyer. Let's look at the flyer. Pop up car spa. He gives the time. He gives the location. Oh, reduced price for members.
Damn.
What do you think? Because like this is where you and I sometimes,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
do like the discount game sometimes. So,
yeah.
reduced price for members because he's going after this gym, and if you're a member, then you get a reduced price.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Um, in that kind of scenario, I'm not a huge discount guy. Mainly because I feel like you're already kind of doing them. Like the added value is they're getting two birds with one stone. I don't really think it's adding any value. And I also will say that I think because the amount of effort to get that customer in this case is going to be a lot more. We usually use our discounts where it's kind of just flooding the market like a Facebook ad or something like that, where it's just, okay, we're going digital, and it's just out to everyone, and we need something that'll pull them away from whatever they're doing or looking at or whatever. In those kind of scenarios, I feel like it's going to be a more targeted group. I'm not sure if I'm assuming it's a printed flyer, right, going up somewhere. So in that case, I feel like
Well, I
you know,
sent it to you, right?
yeah, yeah, but I didn't know if it was going digital or if it was
Good point. I guess I don't know either. It
okay.
looks like he's gonna, but who
Well,
knows, right? Who knows?
put it this way: I think I would rather because you're limited on space when you're putting out a flyer, whether it's digital or it's not. I would rather have seen something that was less focusing on just on the price straight away, especially when they don't even know what that price is going to cost. You're doing me a favor, basically. It's a pop up car wash. I get it done while I'm here. I don't know. Okay, reduced price for members. I would rather have seen something play on their ego instead. Like special bonus if you can bench 200 or something. You know what I mean? Just like something stupid. I'd rather
I
play on their
like that.
ego.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. And these guys, you got to think they're like the macho wacho kind of. So play on their ego a bit and
I think it goes into the mindset, right? Like, if you think that you need to give somebody a discount for them to buy your stuff, is that the customer that you want?
yeah, and likely no. Especially when you spend a bunch of time outlining the customers he didn't want. It's not a corporate environment, so he doesn't want corporate. It's not this, it's not that. I hope it's not one of those like Anytime Fitnesses. I think it's a private
It
gym.
seems not. Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems
he's like
more
a
of a
local
very
kind of
like a more of a private type of.
yeah. Perfect. So you got to think of the customer that's going there. They're
You could
likely
do
spending more.
jujitsu, right? There's a bunch of these little jujitsu, like
Yeah,
little dojos or karate,
yeah.
like.
We used to have one right beside our shop, and the people that went there, like the membership wasn't cheap, and there were other places they could have went that were more like chains, and they were cheaper. The guys that went there wanted that tailored experience. They were more interested in
Mhm.
their, I don't know what the dojo person's called in that case, their master,
Sensei?
sensei. Yeah, sensei. Sure, we'll go with sensei. They were more interested in the sensei himself, and so they
Like
were like,
that person's philosophy, how they live life.
yeah,
Like, yeah, like.
price wasn't really the
Hmm.
forefront of their mind. You know what I mean? And so we did same thing when we worked with them. When we talked to those guys, we had to adjust our speech and things like that. And in terms of the ads that because we put up flyers over there. The guy said he was cool with it, so we put up flyers. We put up little things like that. We played very much into that. And then yeah, I think That's what I would have rather seen. Something around the ego side instead of just jumping straight into. And at least here's the thing: at least try without the discount. Discounts can come after, but we're not talking like there's no special. It's not for a special day, like hey, Boxing Week, 15% off, whatever. No, we're talking just regular Tuesday. Someone's gonna see your flyer. Special gift would be great. Something maybe I don't know, like I don't know. I'm trying to think like even like protein stuff or something like something around those. I don't know, man. Like something, but I wouldn't jump into the discount straight away.
Yeah, I agree.
That's number one.
So it does have the QR code.
QR
Now
code.
here's the interesting part. Scan to visit our website.
Okay. It's not really a call to action. It's more, it's a call to reading. Yeah. I would assume that if I'm reading the flyer, 99% of what you need to tell me should be in the flyer.
Scan to pick your package, scan to pick your time, scan to something, right?
And to secure your spot would be really nice. That would be like, because it also puts that scarcity in my mind where it's like, oh shit, I gotta lock this in. You know what I mean? And then like, don't be last. Da-da-da. You gotta think, man, these people they're wanting to win, they want to achieve, they want to accomplish something. You gotta use that same kind of terminology, right? So, don't be the last one. Secure your spot. No one's holding this bench for you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's that's what I would do. Or even if they just put something like first 100 customers or something like limited to X amount of people, some sort of scarcity in there. That would be helpful, I think. Scan to visit our website. It sounds like something I would read if I was, I don't know, looking at a city brochure and they're advertising the national park. Scan to visit our website to learn more about the purple grackle birds. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's nothing there that's enticing me to, oh shit, I gotta take action right now because why? Like scan to visit our website. Okay, fuck, I can do that in my leisure. But also just list your website, man. I'll figure it out. Like I don't need to pull out a QR code scanner and do this and that. I should just see your website there and be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm probably gonna take a picture of your flyer if it's important to me. I don't know. I think that's more beneficial than because here's the thing: if I take a picture of it, I have to use another phone now to scan the QR code of the picture, versus if I take a picture of it and the website's just listed. I just feel like it's just missing some pieces there, But because I'm not going to take action on that right away, like what I'm leaving the gym or going into the gym. In both scenarios, I either want to just get my workout started or I want to go home and hydrate. In both scenarios, I'm not going to sit there and scan to visit your website. Like it's not happening. Like I'm on my way out the door, man. Like it's the equivalent of trying to pick up a girl when she's walking down the street somewhere, and you're like, scan this to learn a little more about me. It's like she's like, I'm a fucking busy guy. Like leave me alone, get off me. But I think that some sort of call to action there. Secure your spot, lock it in. Especially if you are going to go with a discount or a deal of some kind, then act fast. Deal's only valid for X period of time or something. Scan now to lock it in. Name, email, phone, boom.
All right. So how much inside of these? There's a lot of us that know there's certain things we have to do. Right. We've got to leave our information. We've got to entice somebody. We got to get them to call to action. What you're saying, like. Yeah. It's all stuff we got to do, but I just don't know how to do it, and it's kind of confusing to me. I'm not sure, but okay, I can put this here, Sean. I can understand what you're saying. I can put this on the QR code. I can change the way I say some words, which we should. Mm-hmm. The next part of when people come up and because you see these in groups where they go, hey, I came up with this. What do y'all think? The next thing is they always want to like put their like extra little like. I like that they had the QR code. I like that they had the reduced price for members, at least section. It was not what you and I would have chosen to write, but at least it was on the field in a sense, right?
That's
like
true. Yeah.
At least they had it.
Boxes, sure.
So So maybe not on the if we're going to give it a grade, maybe we're going to say that was a C.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say that's a fail.
It
Definitely
wasn't a
not.
fail, right? You at least had it on there, so you at least get to pass. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I think most of us can understand that moment that we're okay. We can put some stuff on there. At least we have the things it needs to have. I think the next thing that people get into some problems, though, say all that to go. Here's where I think the real problem. He puts something and he says, "Clean car equals clear."
What?
And then he goes into this little explanation. While you work, this, we're going to transform your ride with our skills and tech.
Okay.
So I'm going after people out of the gym that are somewhat well-to-do because they're solidified and they're going to have the money.
Yeah.
You're going to wow their car detail with tech?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand this.
It equals clear. It equals clear.
Clean car equals clear, and our skills and tech, and then he goes, fully insured and certified. You go, why'd you have to say that?
Yeah.
Why's that got to be on your marketing? Why'd you come up with this random thing and you go, oh, God damn it. Did you use AI to do all this?
Fully insured. Oh, that's crazy. Jesus. I don't think that's ever come up, like...
Well, but hold on a second. Do you think that he worked?
Do I think he did that? No.
Well, right. I said it. You saw it. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
talked about in the past. Like you had to work with somebody to come up with something. Now,
yeah.
the great thing. There's advantages we're going to love about Luna. There's disadvantages when you just go into some random thing and go, hey, let me come up with something.
Yeah.
And that's what I started to kind of see out of this. I go, man, these are C-level, right? They're not.
Yeah.
They're on there, but they're not great.
Yeah,
And then he comes up with this random clean car equals clear and this
clear.
our tech and what we're gonna. And you just go, oh shit, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I was on, maybe I was close, and then you come up like, what is this? If I'm a guy that has a BMW that goes to a jiu-jitsu gym and shit, man, you can clean my car every week? Hell yeah, I'm in. But then I see this random stuff and you go, man, poser?
Yeah. Yeah.
Poser? Because he's not actually going to use tech and skills to understand what is right and wrong. He's not. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not. All that gets blown out of the water, right? Because you actually didn't do the work of working with somebody to make it the right way that, and or then he was so uneducated in his own self that the beauty of Luna is you can go back and you've already talked about it. You can say to Luna, hey Luna, let's work on this a little bit. He didn't have the mind in his own self to know that this wasn't right. He puts out clean car equals clear. The fuck does that even mean? And this is his marketing? He spent all this time and he's now in this group asking for people so you can start to put it together and go, ah, shit, man.
It's all making sense now. Jesus Christ.
You didn't really do anything.
No, because at the same time, when we do all of our ad copy goes through AI at some point, multiple times though, because even if AI gives us what was tweaked and better than what we had initially created, which should be expected, it's got the knowledge of fucking like everything. We will then take that, pop it back into AI, and say, how can you make this even better, a little more punchier?
Well, let's stop saying AI and go Luna. I mean, we've talked behind the scenes, so you've talked to me about how many times you've gone in and reconfigured her, reworked her, kept pushing. I think you put out in the group, Luna 3.0's here. The point, a part of this is going, hey guys, you want to do marketing, you want to put out these things, we're going to tell you, yes, we love the idea. We're C grade on some of the stuff. Put it through Luna. You're not going to be a C grade because Sean's at 3.0. There's so many marketing companies out there right now that are saying, hey, come do this with us, and you're going to get like, and they're at the very low end level. You can see it right here with whatever this guy
Right
did.
there.
This is low level.
Equals. I'm still trying to figure out like, what the fuck that even means. Equals clear. You know what I would have loved to have seen on that flyer? Because so here's the thing. I work out a lot. My workouts aren't always the same length, and so my concern in seeing that would be like, okay, so I book a spot with you. You're going to clean it while I work out, but depending on the day, I might only have 20 minutes in the gym. I might have 40 minutes in the gym. I don't even know. Like, am I going to finish my workout, go outside, and you're still like balls deep in my car, not even finished, and I'm like, fuck. Now I'm waiting until this guy finishes. Yeah, it's the worst. And so that's where I would actually name a couple packages and make them specific for this gym. And I would have one called cardio day. I would have one called leg day. I would one called full body. I would one call like the bench press supreme. Different shit, whatever it is.
That's enough. You don't need a whole bunch.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, fair. But I'm just saying, I would put the time.
Good, better, best.
Yeah, good, better, best. True. But I would put the time beside them, how long that detail is going to take, and then that way the customer has an idea. They're like, oh shit, I'm going to be able to get XXX done if I.
Well, and we got to also realize you shouldn't have a big long thing here.
No, definitely not. But if you're going to put something like, what was it? Clean car is clear. What was it?
Clean car equals clear.
Clean car equals clear. If you're going to put that there, even if you just scrap that and you just said done in less than 30 minutes or something like that, I'd be like, safe.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? That's all I need to know. Like, you're focusing on the wrong values of what you think the customer wants. Like, they don't want clean car equals clear. They don't even know what the fuck that means, number one. Confused customers don't buy. But you got to sell them on the actual value. I wouldn't even care about the discount side. I'd be more concerned. I'm going to the gym.
Time.
I'm already investing in myself. I'm more concerned about the time. Absolutely. So the time would be number one for me. Number two would be what I'm going to get for the money that I'm trading and the time that it's going to take and so on and so forth. And I don't mean like, oh, we're going to clean your door jams, or we're going to do this, that. I just want to know, like, does it, touch on a couple things,
If I'm going to the gym and I got some guy that's going to clean my car, skills and tech aren't the thing, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. And I'm also not...
Is it clean? What are you going to clean, and is it clean?
You just want to clean. Exactly. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I would be more concerned about the interior, too, at that point, because I'm getting in it. I don't even, do the exterior, sure, but I'm less concerned about that, in my opinion.
Well, when you say less concerned, you're not less concerned of is it clean or not. You're just less concerned on the amount of abrasives that they need to put on, the amount of polishing they need to do, sealants, the excess of all.
Yeah.
You just want it clean, and then some slick over to give it a little bit of shine. And then when they feel the car, they want to feel it.
Exactly.
These guys are going to feel the car. They're going to look at it. How do I know?
Exactly.
These are the people that I targeted. And then in the car wash world, these are the people we targeted too. These are a lot of people that you target because they're the ones that care.
Yeah.
You want to be with the people that care. I know detailers don't love people that touch the car.
Those are the ones you want, though.
Those are the ones that you want. They go, oh, this feels great,
100%.
man. You did a great job. They don't see the scratches of the mooring they just put in.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
They just feel it and see the gloss and go, man, you did a great job. Thank you so much.
Exactly. It's the same thing as, those same guys, when they take a shower, they're going to, they feel their skin, they're like, oh, yeah, I feel clean.
I'm not sure how you...
Okay, stop. We won't go down the road. But you know what else? A big swing and a miss on this flyer, in my opinion.
Is you thinking of them in a shower.
Gay! Every episode, what the fuck? So the biggest thing missing is this. What is the number one thing about workout culture? It is habitual. So what should have been on this flyer is, we'll see you every week. That should have been on there, because these guys are coming every week, multiple times a week in most cases. Letting them know, like, what if I do this, I secure my spot, you did all the right marketing, I took the call to action, I took the bait. Are you going to be here next week? Are you going to be here every week? What if I love it? Is this a one-off? Are you only here once and then you're gone? Well, then fuck it. I don't
Secure
really.
your spot for a cleaner life.
There you go. See, equals clear. That's the new formula. Equals clear. Jesus, but yeah, habitual. Think about that, guys. You want repeat customers, repeat business. This needs to be a habitual thing. You could find out just from that one gym alone. You could probably make a sustainable living just from that one spot. Absolutely. And then you know what you do? You plant somebody there, and then you go find the next gym, and you rinse and repeat the same formula.
Because these aren't details.
Yeah, no, these are express wash, whatever you want to call it. They are mini detail, in and outs, whatever you want to call them. These are get it done quickly. It's mostly clean. They see you again next week.
Listen, stack on the outside for $100 upcharge.
Yeah. Exactly.
This
This isn't
20 minutes.
Yeah, this isn't the moment to be like, oh yeah, we have a 6-year coating. This is not the moment for that. This is the moment that, hey, we're gonna be here every week. You're obviously someone that loves your routine, loves your pattern, love your habits. We're gonna be here every week. We can apply this every other week. We can, do the cleans in between. Like, there's so much you can do here.
How much?
Clean car equals clear is not it.
No.
I think we can all agree on that.
So you sent me, actually found this guy's video inside of another group. So I'll go ahead and go, listen, I'm in on this guy. I'm in. He's hustling.
Yeah, he's out there.
He's out there. Now, it's a little bit too much time in groups. Like, we can go ahead and say that. Like, probably a little bit too much time in groups asking for other people's opinions on what he's doing. But he's out there. So I'm not going to hate on the guy. I might hate that he says, find us Google in the bottom right. Did you see that?
I missed that.
Find us Google.
Find us Google.
Find us Google. Might hate him for him on that, but I'm not going to hate for him for being out there.
No, man, the hustle is real. Yeah.
Hustle is real. The part inside of our industry is so many of us hustle. And we hustle to an extent of, well, I don't have any more people. And then you get the guy last week, we talked about that closed his doors. Like, there's a hustle to us that starts.
And then fizzles.
The level, right? The level up is hustle plus education.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean the hustle goes away, it's plus, right? You could even do multiply, right? You probably should. Should be a multiplication at that point.
It's true.
Because, excuse me, because we're going to get into this video and let's do it, right? Like, the progress, there's not really a progress for him, except I can appreciate that he's got a video, okay? So he's videoing and he's trying. And there's been some edits. Yeah. You can at least see that he edited something.
Yeah.
And so I can appreciate that effort. I really can. I really, really can. Please, you all understand me. At least he's doing this. The problem that happens, though, is if you just stay at that level of just doing enough, of just having, reduced price for members, of just having the QR code, it looks, right? It fits the mold. Yeah. Guaranteed, though. Guaranteed, if you go down the trail of everybody else of doing fits the mold and AI marketing and this like blanket, here's what's going to happen. And this there's no doubt what is happening in real time in a real world. There are people that are using AI to create entire channels of videos. I get marketed now because we talk about this, like, I love nature videos. I've been on safaris. I've watched animals. Like, I've been to Africa. I've been to South Africa. Like, been to the places. Love the stuff. It's what I love to watch. One of the things I enjoy on my weekends in the back patio with my TV is to put on that type of stuff with music or drone scenery of places. This summer we'll go back to Brazil. I think I found my retirement. It's a place called Bugios. is and it's funny, right? It's bougie, right?
Yeah.
But in Brazil, Buzios, right? It's a small fishing village that then got found by an actress, and now it's progressed into. Well, I was trying to watch some stuff about that village, that town, that area. Interesting what becomes AI and what becomes real, right? When you want to watch and hear music and watch scenery of things you want to watch while you're laying on a couch in the back patio, trying to just enjoy your weekend, do you go, man, should I support this guy that just used AI? Or should I support the guy who did the work of having, whether he bought the drone footage or not? I don't know. But at least they had actual footage teamed with music. And I go, man, I got to make a subconscious decision. It's now in the world of, do I support generically made AI marketing things or visual things, anything AI that's so general versus somebody who put in the work?
Yeah, and that's where, because like, don't kid yourself. I'm a huge proponent of AI,
Have
but
to
a
be.
lot of people use it just for the shortcut side, and they don't realize that it's still work. So when we compile our ads, we still we spend a lot of time on the prompts, a lot of time working with AI, asking question back and forth, this that, refining this that. It's not like, oh yeah, let's just spin up some ads. It's going to take us 5 minutes because AI is going to do it all. No, it's still an hour to 2 hour long process. We have to go through. Okay, let's as a team, what's the demographic we're going after? Okay, so we found this mom and pop shop that's they've got a gym. Okay, great. So who goes to the gym? So maybe we've got to do a drive by there, and we've got to visit and just kind of watch and see who pulls in. Maybe we see for the first hour the people that are pulling in there around the time that people go to the gym. Maybe those aren't the customers we want. Okay, this was a bad idea. Let's go check out the next one. So you do a little recon. It's kind of like you're a police officer building a case against somebody. There's time that gets involved. You're gonna have case files. You're gonna have photos. You're gonna this that. You're compiling all these things together. It still takes work, and I think where the difference is there between the AI stuff, like what you're talking about, is the authenticity. Human beings, we crave that authentic.
Well, it was so easy that we started to watch it at first. I'm just telling you, I think there's going to be a certain level of people, a certain style of individual that's going to turn off, which I guess sort of my story. Like I'm realizing that is not supporting something that was authentic.
100%.
Let me call you out, Sean,
Call me up.
because it's so easy.
Yeah,
It's so easy to use AI to go post a photo
yeah.
and tell somebody to go look at something. So call out's the wrong word. Don't misunderstand me. But let's have a real discussion, because a lot of us are going to use AI to put out a marketing piece on social media. When you go make a post inside of your group about this episode, you use AI to come up with the marketing piece. Eventually, I think people turn off of those and just segue away from them because they go, the guy didn't really spend a lot of time working on this, so I shouldn't have to think about it too much. He didn't put in much time, right? But early with AI is so easy to do.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
AI catches on, we're not going to be able to use AI as much because so many people use it, and then it will just be part of the overall thing.
True, yeah. And eventually AI will evolve a lot better. So it's because it's evolved pretty rapidly. Like AI's been around for a long time.
The images you put out are awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah,
They are. They really are. Luna does a great job. That's why I was like, I don't mean to call you. That's the wrong word. Like,
yeah.
it was more of like, let's have a discussion over,
Yeah,
because so many people, I think, are detailers. We're going to go, hey, if I don't know how to market and I'm not good at this, let me just go to AI and it'll just put it out for me. But
yeah. So it's funny. I was having this conversation with my Nick from the because I know we both have a Nick. So with my Nick from Auto World, and we've been revamping a lot of our ads because there's a lot of stuff's coming up. Obviously we've got Father's Day is right around the corner, and then we've got a bunch of other holidays here. We've got Canada Day coming. A bunch of stuff's coming up. So End of school, that's a big one for us too. You know, end of the school before people start planning those road trips. You know, it's a big deal. And he'll say things like, "Oh, let's just whip up some ads. We got to get something out. You know, let's just whip them up. Let's spend like an hour on the phone, whip up the ads for the next like 6 big events that are coming." I'm like, "You better lock in a little more time than that, man." And he's like, "Nah, man, come on, AI, you're the king of that. Like, this should be really fast and easy." And I'm like, "Sounds like it is, but like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, sure, we could just whip something together, throw it, slap it out there. That's how you
What
end
will
up
it do?
with clean car equals clear, you know." And so
What's
I
that
said,
ROI?
yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like, listen, I mentioned this earlier, and I'll circle back to that point. The cost that used to be involved with putting together a campaign to reach somebody by like postcard or a brochure in the mail or something like that was so high and so human resource intensive as well. The fact that we have these shortcuts available to us are great, but they're not a replacement. It's an aid,
Do
right?
you think it's like maybe if it's your check boxes, it's okay to use AI? Because I mean, technically, inside of your group, it's okay to make the post with
I think there
AI.
are
And
instances for sure.
yeah, I agree. That's why I was like, call out. I did. It
I
was
know
the
what
wrong word to say.
I know what you meant though. Yeah. So
Yeah,
so
like,
listen on your
but I
personal
know
Facebook.
people are going to think about it and they're going to go,
Yeah,
wait, Sean uses AI to put out posts inside of the group. Why can't I do it?
so
Well,
it
here's
depends on what
why.
you're
Like,
doing. Yeah, exactly. So listen, some emails to clients. So Joe that works for us, he's okay at sending out emails, but he's not the strongest writer. So most times we're like, hey, if someone's just like, hey, how much for a windshield replacement on a 2010 Civic? Just write him back the price. That doesn't have to get run through AI. That's like taking a chainsaw to cut a sandwich. Okay, it's overkill. But he's not very good at conflict resolution. So if a customer has a complaint or a problem, Joe, write out the initial email and then copy and paste that into AI. Tell Luna, hey, refine this message for me. We have a customer that's upset. That then read it over. Don't just trust AI. AI might, maybe it goes against the customer today. You know, it's like, hey, buddy, go, you know, who knows? Read it over and then send it to the customer. But pay attention to certain things in the message, because if it comes across as too generic and it's just kind of like whatever, whatever, because AI tends to be generic at times unless you tell it to be very specific and you give it a lot of information. So when you're doing something like your standard just Facebook posts on your business page, a lot of times that might be okay for AI just as is. So if it's, hey, AI, make me 10 social media posts for Facebook and Instagram that are for events coming up in, you know, my city for the next like 3 major holidays or whatever it is leading up to them. Okay, great. Something like that might be okay. I still recommend putting in a little effort, and
yeah.
I do.
If
But
you think you want to get something out of it, I guess
yes,
is my way of saying it. Like, there's certain things now in business you almost have to have checks, and
yeah,
and it's not thinking about ROI. It's not about whether I'll get it. It's not. It's literally about, do I need to send
have
an
to do
email
it.
out to people?
Yeah,
Yes. Let me use. I'm going to use Luna to do that. Hey, do I need to send some? Yes. Hey, do I? There's certain things that you have to do, but in marketing, though,
yeah.
I think in marketing it gets you run a real, which is why inside the group you're not really marketing, right? This is
No,
more
exactly. This
informational.
is
This
more
is just,
about here's information. It's free guidance. You know what I mean? And also,
but if you get into marketing,
yeah. Here's why it's also okay, in my opinion. It's an intro to something that is authentic. So it's just a post about, like, you're going to literally hear from humans at the other end of this, right? When people, like, imagine if it's like, here, click here. This is what I've seen. Real story. I've seen a lot of people doing this now where they sign up for those AI phone answering services. They build a landing page with AI. They have an ad built with AI. The entire customer journey is so void of humanity that it's just they see an ad, oh okay cool, they're kind of interested, they click it, takes them to a landing page that looks so generic because it's made by AI. They click through to subscribe, and then they get a phone call, and it's not even a real fucking person. It's just AI on the other end. That yes, the voice sounds realistic. Yes, they know some things. There's a certain thing that humans have that, like, how many movies?
oh no, that's I'm so glad you said that.
All right, yeah. Go ahead.
Because if humans didn't have, if it was a blanket statement of humans, they wouldn't be in business.
Mm,
There's a level, there's a segment of society,
mm.
and then there's the people that you really want.
Yeah, that's true.
These people are they're gonna see that and bounce as quick as possible because that's around the majority down here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not you want
People
these
who you're
people.
going to attract is the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want these people.
it's true, 100%, and that's the difference, because it, excuse me, you're going to keep getting the same kind of, as we've said before, you're going to attract those flies because you got shit customers. So you
Right?
really do need to put a little effort in, and that's where in that flyer, had he put something that was more tailored to, like, spend a little time, think about the customer, try and get in their shoes. That's the human element that AI is good at helping when you give it prompts and it can execute tasks based on what you've told it. But the creativity side of things is something that AI is still somewhat lacking because humans, we just have this thing where like ideas just come out of nowhere, or there's correlations that we have that it's not black and white. It's not something that just exists that AI has access to.
And I love, right? I've
Yeah.
said it, like you can come up with an idea. It's all about how do you perform the idea. Not
Yeah.
performance is in on a stage, but a performance is in an athlete, and it's Gatorade, right? Gatorade's
Yeah.
always talking about how do you perform, right? How do you perform to your next level, right? This is in a sense the same heartbeat of what you and I are saying. You can have an idea. We're loving the idea of a flyer. I mean, we're not hating on the guy. We're just trying to help him perform better. We know there's those of you that are listening that have these ideas. It's not about shooting down the ideas. How do you perform that idea onto the real world so that when you do it, you don't waste your money, you don't waste your time. Your ROI, your return on whatever time, energy, and effort you spent won't be at 1%, won't be at 2%. That like shit. You remember how many times people will tell you, "Hey, you send this out, you're going to get a 0.75% return." You go,
That
"I'm
it.
spending $5,000 with you, and I'm going to get a
Yeah.
0.75%."
Mm-hmm. That
Okay,
was
well, I need to keep
that was
spending.
Yellow Pins. That
Eventually,
was
I'll get a.
yeah.
Okay, hold on. That's not. We can't do that. Most in the detailing industry, I think, that are looking for. You see these posts. This guy's looking for. How do I get a massive return without spending anything?
Yeah.
Hey, hating on them
Yeah.
using AI. Okay, but let's get into that video
Mm.
because the next way that we can do it, which we started talking about, but if you want to be using something, some program, some platform, something, using videos, you have to do.
Yeah.
Now,
Videos necessity.
now, you saw something, and here's what we got to say.
Yeah.
If you're going to market skills, don't
Yeah.
don't leave shit all over the carpets, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. First thing I saw, he's like, and yeah, we got the Mother's Day special. Got another vehicle lined up. I think it was a 2023 something SUV. Anyway, had all the doors open. It's in a parking lot, and starts to videotape through the car and says, "Yeah, it's immaculate, and everything." And there is shit all over the floors. All over the floors. It's in between those like the mats. It's in between those little like ridges. There's stuff in between the crease by the seat belt.
Well, it had the plastic mats, and he basically didn't pick up and didn't move the seats. He didn't go around all the edge. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know that was detail. I thought that was just vacuuming.
That's the Mother's Day special. That's, I bet you the mom feels really special. I saw that and I was like, ooh, that's a huge no-no, man. Huge no-no. Like that's not even a mini detail. It's not even a. I don't know what that is, to be honest. And here's the thing. Maybe that was before that part got finished, but then don't film that part. The only time you want to show that,
It wasn't because
it
they
was.
did add these after
I
film.
mean,
The seats
it
look
was
great, right?
yeah.
You
Yeah,
can
the
tell he
seat.
put a lot of stuff on those seats to make them look pretty good.
It's true, but even in the cup holder, there was stuff in the cup holder in the bottom of it, and I'm like, come on, man. Like that's the first thing. Like the mom's gonna show up. She's got her little water bottle, her hydro flask, or whatever the fuck she's got going on. She's gonna go to put it in the thing. So she's gonna look down, and that's the first thing she sees. To me, that's leaving a smudge on the rearview mirror. You know, I get in the car, I'm gonna back up, and I'm like, oh, Mother's Day special, got it. You know, you think they're calling back? No. You think if the husband goes and sees your flyer now at the gym, he's like, yeah, thanks a lot. You know, I've been in the doghouse for 2 weeks. You know, appreciate it. Like he's upset now. So it's the whole thing, and that's where I saw those videos. Don't get me wrong, the outside, I will say, the exterior did a great job, really great job, right? They had a canopy set up. They had the whole nine. That was nice. It was nice to see that. But they spent so much time going around focusing on that shiny.
Listen, Sean, if you give away a complimentary ceramic coating,
Oh yeah, that was the other part. Complimentary
the
ceramic coating.
outside fucking goddamn better look fucking awesome.
Yeah, I should hope so. Jesus, but to me, I would be getting in that vehicle and I'd be like, oh, I see where you spent all your time. So I would rather have my interior clean, and that's where I'll go back to my point I was saying earlier. If my interior is clean, then damn right I want the exterior clean as well. But if my exterior is super shiny and yeah, it's a reflection, it's like a mirror, but I get in and there's shit in my cup holder, there's shit by the seat, there's things on my mats. I don't care how shiny and clear the outside is, I could care less. I don't care what kind of, you could have put a coating on there made out of the tears of angels and unicorn fucking tears. I don't care. Because the interior is filthy and that's where I'm sitting. What did you do to the car? You had the car for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it was. I'm upset. To me, it's those little details that matter, and it's not even that I'm expecting it to be, oh yeah, we use this kind of, shampoo and we extracted the carpets and all kinds of stuff. I'm not even talking about these are just basics, like the floor mats. I don't know, man. I was at a loss when I saw the videos. I was feeling a certain way when I saw the flyer. I was like, okay, there's some work that could be done here, this, that, everything. But then when you start to see the whole funnel, because that's what a customer is in when they see your Instagram, when they see your website, as they scan to visit your website as you've asked them to do, when they see all these things and you're advertising your Instagram on your website, they click through, they look at all the stuff, because customers aren't stupid nowadays and they are doing research. And they are putting in the time and effort to make sure their money is going as far as it can.
There's the point. There's the point. As the economy continues to do this, it gets more specific, even more. Everything gets dialed in of what you got to do as a business, and value.
Yeah.
Goddamn value goes through the roof. The amount of value you have to give to people, and that's not discounts if you're a member.
Yeah. No, that's not value.
That's not.
Yeah.
Every detail gets a complimentary ceramic coating. Words for basis on his video.
Jesus.
Every detail of ours gets a complimentary ceramic coating.
Yeah. But they don't get a complimentary.
But they don't get their cup holders cleaned out. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
So when this is a lot of what this discussion, I think, is a step back view of going, hey guys, in this moment of where we're at with the economy, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in the United States, whether you're not, I mean, geez, we've got listeners for you and distributors of ours in the UK and other people around the world. Economy is economy. When economy is starting to go down, people get more, how do you say it? Same thing that probably each of us have all experienced, where you go, am I going to go and spend my money here, or would I rather spend my money here?
Yeah.
And you can fill that blank in however you want to do. Eating out, watching something, things you buy to wear.
Yeah.
For those that have their car cleaned places, they're going to determine whether or not they go to here or do I go to here.
Yep.
That's what they're going to do. Do I go through the car wash? Do I get their monthly subscription? Do I have the dealership clean it and detail it when I bring it in for service? How do I spend my money? What do I do that brings me value when I spend it into car care, cleaning my own car? I'm sorry, having my car clean.
Yeah, it's true though. People are a lot more discerning. A lot more
Yes.
discerning. Yeah.
So if they see these random mistakes, then
Yep.
they go into a video,
Yeah.
right? You mentioned funnel. It's a point of why you have to, in these moments, have everything under check. Because they get in, maybe they got in with the flyer, they didn't see that, right? Maybe they're dyslexic like me, and they don't really read too well.
Yeah.
Maybe it takes them a long time,
Clean car equals clear.
so
Dope.
they don't do it. They just go great, clear. I work out while I clean. They just roll over it. Cool.
Yeah. But then they see the Instagram.
Then they
And
see a
they're like,
video,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then they wonder, right? You asked me, hey, next weekend is Father's Day.
Yeah. And he still has the Mother's Day one up, but he doesn't have anything for Father's Day. And I'm like,
Not only that, Sean,
Vince.
he hadn't put up anything since.
Yeah, that's true.
So you ask the question, did he go out of business?
Yeah. It's like, well, should I even reach out to this guy? Should I?
We talk about migration. We talk about these moments. We talk about why it's so important for you not to get your ass eaten off by an alligator when you could have just gone over this way.
It's true. And that's the one thing too where you put like Mother's Day special, you've now dated that post. Because even if they don't check the actual post date, you've dated it just by saying Mother's Day.
Well, they
Unless,
want to market for Mother's Day. My point was he hadn't put up anything since then.
oh no, that's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Is that at least if he didn't put a Mother's Day special, someone might have seen it and be like, oh, maybe this was last week or something. But if you're gonna commit like that, you got to be all in here. If you're gonna do
He
Instagram,
might be out of business, though.
you got to be Instagram. He might be out of business actually. I don't know.
Look what he did. I mean, he did this random flyer that didn't make sense. He
Yeah.
he did a video that was very shaky and it wasn't in clear. He tried to explain some stuff, but he really wasn't.
You can hear him too. Does it?
Exactly. He wasn't very good talking, right? So everything becomes sea level.
Yeah.
The,
And it's
the
like
marketing is sea level.
You already took out your phone. You got the vehicle there. The sun is out. You set up your canopy. You just had to kick it over the finish line. That's all you had to
How
do.
does somebody figure that part out, right? They have to allow Luna to do other things, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Luna makes that flyer. Maybe you say, hey, Luna, remake the flyer. Hey, and you begin to progress on how you market. When it comes to that video,
Yeah.
you can't,
Yeah.
right? You can't.
What you could do? You could ask Luna. I'm about to go film a customer's vehicle for a Mother's Day special. What are the top 10 fuck ups I should avoid during this video?
What are the top things I should do?
Common mistakes. What are the top 10 things I should do?
I-
What should I do after the video's released, after it's published? These are questions you can ask. That is a very good use of AI. Making the creative and stuff like that, it's a good aid, but it still needs that human flair, I feel, and it still needs multiple revisions. You still got to put in the work. It's not just going to do it for you. But things like, hey, what are some common pitfalls? What should I, or even after you post that video and then you haven't had a great response, take that video, plug it in, and be like, yo, I did this campaign, I went around the car, what's wrong with this video, so on and so forth. These are things you can do with AI. And that is a good use of AI to reevaluate your post-game tapes, right? And take a look at like, how come my customers aren't calling? How come I didn't get the ROI I was hoping for? You know, those kinds of questions are really good to get analyzed and answered by AI. Absolutely. So Luna, hate to pay the royalty, but there it is. She's your best friend. She's your marketing team. Fuck, man, she's free. I don't know what else I can do for you guys. Like, I really don't. Like, Jesus.
Well, but there's a point of you could go into these other places, which I guarantee this guy, because I mean they market me, so I understand if you're a detailer and you open up your Facebook and you scroll, you're going to get marketed to. Hey, can you? Right? There's all kinds of. Hey, we can get you this. Hey, just use this. You can do. I think a lot of it is to go. Luna can do all that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and so you just got to put in a little bit of work.
You don't need all the other stuff, right? You just need the membership.
100%. Yep, she's just included free, rolled in with OrbisX. You're welcome. You know, and you just got to use her and put her to work. She's down to work. She'll work for you 24 hours a day. No such thing as a stupid question, and she's got a lot of information. That's for sure. And we use Luna heavily, heavily. And us too. Like, I'm not sitting here saying we get everything right. Jesus, we do a lot of stuff wrong. We put out a lot of ads wrong. We're redoing our website right now. Built it like, I don't know, 4 years ago maybe. Haven't done much aside from updates on it. And it's like, oh, it's time for a refresh. You know what I mean? But like, our shop's been busy, so it's easy to not look at things and be like, oh, well, we should redo the website, because if something seems like it's working, don't change it. But at the same time, it's like, where are the holes that we're not filling right now with what we're currently doing? So we're revamping the website, and we're adding new things in. Our customer market has changed. Like, the demographics of who we're seeing more of has changed. Does our website reflect that? So we're constantly in this state of this back and forth, this evolution, where we have to change things, tweak things, improve things, and that's the art of climbing, is that our education never stops. I never think, oh yeah, we've got this all figured out. No, I'm not sitting here telling you I have it all figured out. What I'm telling you is that I will educate myself to death on what we need to do at the present moment to make improvements, to make things better, to make things more cost effective, make them function better, increase the ROI. I will continue to do that. That's the hustle. That's that kiosk hustle. And you need that kiosk hustle. Like, you absolutely need it. You got to be like Carlos. Oh, Apple Store's coming in. They're shutting down the kiosk. No problem. You know what I mean? I'm going to figure this out. And that's what those guys do. Those guys that sell sunglasses, you might laugh at them in the kiosk at the mall.
Shit, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Those guys, compare bank sheets. Their balance sheets will dominate yours. I guarantee it in most cases.
They're cheesy. I ain't going to have a beer with them, but I'll tip my hat every day. When I ever have to go to the mall, I always tip my hat to them.
100%.
Hell, I sometimes buy some food from people just because I know they're there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, God damn it, I just got to buy it just because I want to. Like, that's all.
Yeah. It happened to me the other day. I was in the mall with my daughters, and there was this kiosk thing. They sold, I don't know, it's got some Japanese name. My kids are into that Asian stuff. But it had it's fruits that are this kind of like glazed sugar type thing, and it's like, they heat it up and then they flash freeze it or something, so it ends up like frozen.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah.
Holy shit, man! They were like $17 each, and I was like, "Why'd I have two kids?" But anyway, so we bought those things, and then they only ate like half of it, anyways. But I bought it for that same reason. I was like, "Man, look at this person out here, hustling. They're there from morning till night."
You know what it tastes like? It tastes like.
I didn't have one, so I don't know.
Oh, you didn't eat it? You didn't like.
No, too much sugar for me. That was it was like.
So did you ever eat Captain Crunch?
Okay, yeah. That's what it tastes like? Oh shit, that's wild.
Right, fluffy.
Yeah.
But like a little bit crispy.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Oh shit, damn. Yeah.
It's Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch. Yeah, for the price of a box of Captain Crunch, you get half of one. Perfect.
All box is $17. God damn,
No,
candles. Fucking, you guys are expensive up there.
Tariffs, man. What can I tell you? It's the economy, Marshall. The economy is so horrible. Oh my God, Jesus. It's crazy. But, I'm a firm believer in, like, I've been through multiple recessions. I've been in different countries that went through quote-unquote recessions that they called them. I feel like people always buy stuff. People always spend. The markets are always there. It's just, how do you tap into it?
If they extend credit on people's credit cards, they're still going to buy.
Still going to buy, 100%. And they'll sort it out next year or the year after. They'll transfer balances and stuff. People get real creative when they need to buy stuff, Like, if the economies have been as terrible as they say, why are people still buying the kind of sneakers they do? You know what I mean? Like, those sales haven't dipped. Stop. You know what I mean? Like, what was it? The Kanye's shoes there, the Yeezys or whatever. Man, those things are like, what, $2,000 or something? You know what I mean? Even with all the shit going on with him, not to make this a yay conversation, but people are still buying them. Like, geez, calm down, man. It's the economy goes through ebbs and flows, but the right customers, as long as you're not attracting, the piles of crap with the flies, people are there. I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, going after, I will say that to end off. Going after that gym, that was a smart move, because it's not an Anytime Fitness. You chose a good demographic, tighten up that flyer, tighten up the other side of the marketing, assuming if you're still in business, tighten that stuff up, use AI in the right methods to aid you, ask for some, critical feedback on your videos, and you're going to make better videos, you're going to get the right things in there. Don't take this as a we're slamming your idea at all. This is more
How to climb, how to keep
here's
going.
tips on how you climb. Absolutely. Yeah, so yeah, man, great chat, man. So yeah, guys, take that advice, and don't forget Father's Day right around the corner. Remember, nudge, nudge. That's the final nudge. Buy yourself some stack, and convince your loved one to buy an annual subscription of OrbisX. Let's go. You get Luna included. Luna. If I don't say the third one,
Chicken tuna.
perfect. See, no royalties paid. It's like singing half the birthday song. As long as I don't sing the whole thing, then it's. Anyways, man, appreciate you as always. We'll see you guys next week, and yeah, go crush it out there, man. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Cheers. All right, see you, man.